Good morning. It's Sunday. It's 4 days in a row streaming and coding. Yeah, looks alright. It's first in the morning. Got my coffee. We're going to take a stab at the advent of code. I haven't done it before, so I'd like to give it a shot and see how it goes. I'm going to jump into it. Let's pull some stuff up here. Hey, is that a follower right here? Fantastique. Jamesy. One Jamesy. Welcome. Getting ready to start into a little of advent of code today. Just getting my life together, getting my coffee in. All right. I did read this last night before going to bed. So the first advent of code is 2 lists of numbers. You have to resort them, get the difference between the ordered indexes, and then add up the differences. Okay, I think. I had to completely refactor all my custom overlays because they were too high resolution and bogging down my computer. So I rewrote those yesterday morning. But everything else seems to be going okay. Not getting any copyright hits. It gets flagged for the music, even though it's DCMA free and made specifically for streaming. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But hey, I'm glad you're here. Let's get into some coding. All right, so 2 lists of numbers. Yikes. So I need to sort each. I'm going to look up a quick sort. I have not actually done one myself. Divide and conquer. I'm reading about quick sorting. Hold up. I can put it on the same so you guys can see what I'm seeing. No, I'm not going to ChatGPT to do this. I'm going to figure it out. So you can yeah. All of a sudden I got really self-conscious. Should I not implement quick sort? Because it's not like, or is there an easy button? But this is exactly what I expected to do for AOC, because I have a lot to learn about some of these algos and data structures, so I figured that's where I'd be really challenged a lot. So it looks like you walk down the list, basically. You're partitioning it up, and then you shove things in, and basically if the new number's smaller, you shove it to the left, I think. Always pick the first and last element as a pivot. I gotta be honest, it's already more complicated than I thought it would be. Why do they call this a quick sort if it's oh, this is cheating. Whoa, it's a slideshow. This actually rings a bell. Yeah, that's what made sense to me. Let's just take a random stab at it. This should be a recursive call, in my guessing. All right, what am I going to do first? Why is it trying to bomb out? I mean, I understand guard conditions, but go easy on me, Cody. Let's write this really unoptimized first, and then we can clean it up. Bigger than right. That's not it, because it's a recursive call, so there's a for loop in here. Let's create a function swap values. Oh, yeah, I am showing them. I can make this smaller now. This mutates the array in place. I think that's going to get me in trouble. Let's just test it out though. bypass index to it because it's not used. I don't work in Node much, so it takes me a while to get used to it. Transpile it. I don't have TSC. Maybe I do. Look at that. It did not work. Let's walk through what it's doing then. Oh, it's actually working, except on the first one. Okay, well that's hot. All right. So why didn't it work on the first one? Let's get back that. Get that back. That makes sense. It tracks two indexes. So there's an important step. Backseating? I gotta be honest, I'm not sure what that means. Well, I'm not starting I as -1, and I don't even have a J. So it's probably why it's not working, but... Oh, sure. Feedback is... I'm always open to feedback. Oh, backseating, like backseat driver. I got it. It's first cup of coffee. You have to bear with me. Oh, this is what I should have been doing. The naming convention for Quicksort is junk. This is what I'm seeing. This is actually what I've implemented so far. So currently you are only comparing two values. Yes. I've noticed that. So this would work, but you have to go through the array multiple times. I'm gonna try some. I have a thought. It's just crazy. This is done. Oops. Okay, that worked. Question is, does it always work? Look how many times I had to go through the list. You can do it until, well, there's 2 approaches. I want to return them swaps. Whoop, 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 whoop. Come on, dude. If you want to look at the theory of the one you're currently implementing, that's insertion sort, or at least very close to it. Okay. I assume that I'm not coming up with something new. I mean, it worked, but the thing is if you keep going through the list and the list is already sorted, you're just wasting time. So you might as well bail if you don't have to swap anything out. And so basically I'm going to say if break. Yep. So the first pass moves the 8 to the last index. Second pass moves the 6 to the correct spot and moves the 7 back. I want to count the loops. What am I doing? Some of this garbage out. Three loops. Okay. Let's try it with 2 different arrays. With some duplicate values. Looks like it sorted right, but it took 6 loops. Feels good. So the question is, do you return, which is not really a question, but, oh, I do return the array. So I have my 2 sorted lists. List of differences. Yeah. I'll dig into it. I just haven't had a problem to solve before. This is literally like the first time I've had a problem of having to do something like this. I imagine in game dev I'll get into it. I mean, we can do time stamping. No. Well, for the sake of what happens if they're not? I'm assuming that the array lists are the same number. Sorry. Why can't I spell return anymore? That's what it is. And then a reducer would solve it. Yep. So I need an absolute value in there somewhere. I don't know if that's right. That's not what I want. I put it in the wrong spot anyway. So 1, 1 is 0. I get 1 from the second index, 1 from the third index. It is 3. Huh. Let's try it with the example code. That's actually smart. What'd they say? They get a total distance of 11. Alright. Now let's try it. Holy Toledo. I did not see that coming. I mean, they told us what it would be. So I gotta set up a parser now. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. Parser time. I'll look up. Because three spaces. Wow, got part one right. No. All right, before I jump into part two, I'm going to get a refill on coffee. I'll be right back. All right, let's take a look at part two. So you mean the JavaScript sort method? And we could benchmark it. Sure, we can do that when we wrap up. All right, cool. I'd forgotten there was an array sort. I've used it. But I forgot that was there. You notice an interesting detail. A lot of location IDs appear in both lists. How often each number from the left list appears in the right list. All right. Okay, index 2. So, parse list. No, you calm down, Cody. No one asked you. So it's the same list. So that'll fill the list properly. How often each number from the left list appears in the right list. So that's a separate array of counts. Yeah, someone has run into that lately. It was on the Discord server, the lexical sort. Was that you that pointed that out? I vaguely remember. List. Yep, you're right. So, we have our two sorted lists. Oh, pooey. So you actually don't need to sort them. Figure out exactly how often each number from the left list appears in the right list. So you got to do a find for each one. count. I know there's a find. Is this why people use Lodash? Because I bet Lodash has that function already. I don't want to do that. I just want to write my own. How snooty does that sound? I don't like its it's not W3. Wasn't that what I was just on? I have an idea what I want to do here. So, give me just a sec. Because I don't want the actual value. I want the... MDN. Maybe that's the one I want. No, I don't want it to be an index. this is like the bare bones way. I was making that hard on myself. I wonder if that's faster than the built-in functions. Oops. Returns the number. So list 1.4 each, which is slow. Let's do yeah, that's exactly what I want. Okay. At the moment, yeah. Fern of Sigma, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Morning, glad you're here. All right, so we got the left list count. And then left list multiply. So that's just another loop. And a function. Oop, 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 oop. One, array 2. Number. It's a number array, dude. And it's going to return a number array. No, number array. Go through this. const result. So result of I equals, yep. No, I don't need index. And it's not result I because it's empty array. Result.push. Come on, dude. Because it's const. Were you saying something more, Cox? Am I missing something? It's quite possible. It's the same reduce function. Yep, figured it out on time. It should, I don't want to spit out the whole list. There's got to be a better way to log this. Hold up. What happens if it's not found? So it's a 0. Oh, cool. Love peppers. You could probably use a reduce function to do that counting. But reducers are historically really slow. I mean, for simplicity and readability, man, you can't go wrong with just a classic C4 loop. JWX in our Discord server, man, that guy is a genius when it comes to like single line wicked array functions, but they're clever and they almost always work, but you can't look at it and say, oh, that's what this does. At least I'm not smart enough. modify my stream title, because I don't think I'm going to get into the final piece of the Yeah, I think so. I think people have benchmarked it just too many times, and I don't know how much you know about me, Fern, but we do a lot of game dev is what we do, and so it is well documented that like a for each is so much slower than a for loop, and so we kind of lean into that because of some of the iterations that we have to do. And another thing, a for each goes through every or I'm either smart or an idiot, because it is endlessly frustrating. But a for loop you can break out of. A for each, I don't think you can. It runs on every index of the array regardless. And I've been bitten by that a couple times. I used to lean into for eaches because I thought it was clever, but it ain't. All right, I think that's working. I want to try it on their data set. Yes, I've done enough Rust to be dangerous. I rewrote. I have a pathfinding A-star pathfinding algorithm that I wrote for Excalibur.js, and I rewrote it in Rust and then exported it as WebAssembly to try it out. I gotta be honest, I started coding in C in like 2000. And I haven't written in like C and used pointers and dereference pointers in like 20 years. Whew. I struggle with it. Oh, you mean like find? The array.find? That'll return the first instance or find index. That's a good one. I started looking at RayLib more to kind of get back into sharpening my C chops a little bit. And I've never learned C++. I struggled when I was younger going from functional to object-oriented. I just couldn't get it. It was like magical. And then all of a sudden I figured it out. But I might dabble with RayLib a little bit. Morcox, did I answer your question? Oh, filter. Yeah. Filter would do it because the length of the returned array would be how many times I found it. Yep. Yep. I agree with you, Fern. Good call on filter. Thank you. But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's faster than just doing the for loop and finding it yourself. Depends on how that gets compiled down. Let's test this data. Right. Last time it's figured it out on its own. Yep. As some AI is good AI. He gets 31. I got 31. I may have this. All right. Well, let's give it a shot. Yeah, there's a lot of convenient stuff in JavaScript. Oh, that's not what I want. Good golly. Let's try it out. Cool. That was fun. I've never done anything quite like that. Two gold stars. This is cool. Excellent. I did finish sooner than I thought, so I might actually get into. I'm going to take a break, get some more coffee. I got to take my medicine, and we will get back into the final step of the boss battle for my game. Close all this out. Smaller. I'm actually going to day one. I'm pushing this all to GitHub. Open for boss battle. Smash TV. Systems. Boss battle. Alright. I'm going to go get... what is the question today? Don't exactly understand. Help me out. Oh, don't... Whatever I was doing, don't do. There shouldn't be a horizontal scroll bar there. I'm going to have to look at my CSS on that. It is, you mean the story or the problem? Because the problem was a list sorting problem. So you had to sort a list. You had to do some math on it, on the sorted list. So it's about loops and sorting. The problem is you're finding the chief historian, but they're missing, and so there. I just posted the problem. So you're using code to solve. There's clues. It's almost like the movie National Treasure or the Da Vinci Code or something like that, where it's a series of problems that you have to solve. Recommend it. That was fun. All right, I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. All right, boss battles time. All right, where are we left off? Let's pull open. So we got, all right, this is where we left off. Let's open this up. What we have in our boss battle room, I mean, I'm not going to do a major demo, but so we start the room, the boss shows up, and he has random movement behaviors, he has random attack behaviors, and he has an assortment of other behaviors. So we have a couple of move patterns, a couple of attack patterns. All bosses will have an attack pattern and a move pattern. The second aspect of this is that sometimes they'll have a healing pattern or a shielding pattern or a spawning minions pattern that they sporadically do in conjunction with the moving and attacking. That's all done and working. What the last thing that I want to get prototyped before moving on to the next thing is passing conditional triggers into the boss so that it's monitoring its state and it can change its behaviors when it hits a trigger point. And I like the idea of a boss having two trigger points, like changing behaviors twice in a boss battle. So that's what we're going to work on. And it needs to be procedural. And what I mean by that is you have a selection of trigger conditions that it can pass into the boss saying, this is what you're going to care about. I'll pull open my planning doc. Let's change this to the PowerPoint. Alright, so for the viewers that are still there, the behavior change triggers. So an easy one is health. We can do damage rate. I said presence of minions, but that doesn't make sense to me. You can monitor like if a player's camping out or a specific weapon type like damage. So what I think I'm going to do for this is just health and lack of damage to player over time. So if it's not hurting it, if it's not hurting the player, frustration mode. Hey Drew, good morning. Glad to see you. We just went through, you missed my first inaugural AOC. So I spent the first, what are we on? Hour and a half. First hour and a half was Advent of Code. And I'm just getting into the next segment of my boss battle. So, behavior change triggers. Day one, it was doable. I don't want to spoil it for you if you're going to take a stab at it, but it was, I think they ease you into it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is cook up the behavioral change triggers. Hey, Moorcox, thanks for your help today, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Till next time. I gotta go back to work tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream in the morning. Alright, so this is what we're gonna do. Change my sources around again. Nope, not about that one. First time with OBS, apparently. There we go. I figured it out eventually. How are we going to do this? I think we're going to have to create some trigger behaviors. Let's do a new file. Monitor health.ts. Is it a component? Yeah, let's make it a component. That's working out well for me. Nope, it's not it. So we have the monitor health component that we can add to the boss. We're going to pass some config to it. And let's outline that first. Yep, that's it. Set point number two. That might be it. So basically, all the monitor health is, and it's going to have some events. We're going to use the pub sub system. This is going to be actor events, custom actor events, actor signals. Yeah, all right. So it's going to bring in the config. SB1, SB2. let's latch it. And this way, that means the events fire once. Wow, I mean, Codium is getting good. It's just HP. No. It's going to be a percent. And for readability, let's bust this out. Health percent. And it hasn't been triggered. Actor signals. I gotta add the actor events. Boss SB1 triggered. Okay, there's the events. Emit. Ta-da. Yep. So that's all it needs to do. Is it'll sit and monitor it, and it'll send out the emissions, the event emissions when you hit those points. What the boss needs to do is subscribe to that event. I'm not ready. Let's say change behavior. We'll do the same one for this is where setting up my lists. I want to remove the existing one, so splice it out. How do I save that? How about I just say current move, string, whoop, 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 whoop. Current attack, string. Current other. going to track current other. For reasons. Because you always have 2 out of the 3 available. When we get into the actual MVP of the game, there'll be a slew more of behaviors. But I only generated 3 of them for the prototype. So if you're going to change behavior, dot splice. Oh, I got to find the... Yep. No. Yep. That's it. Man, Codium is getting wicked smart. Alright, so that's how you pick. Now that just sets those strings. Thank you. It's funny you should say that. Drew is the one who taught me to structure code this way. So his state transitions, can you be more specific? But Drew's Pizza Legends course kind of went a long way of shaping how I structure my code. The reason I waffled on your state transition question, Fern, is it's complicated. Reason being, I have a game state module that is the source of truth. Before you jumped on, I did my Advent of Code submission. Yesterday, it's not for a jam, no. Just a current project. I'm trying to create a clone of Smash TV. It's not jam related, it's just something I want to do. See if Excalibur can pull it off. Which leads into Fern's question. I have a state module that basically monitors for changes of state and then sends out an event for an event. So anything that subscribes to state changes will catch the event and get the data. So I wrote my own state management module, essentially. I've used something like Redux before. And with its dispatches, that's a little complicated. With the reducer functions and dispatches and actions, nope. I think I'm going to have a fixed amount of Oh, you can't post links, Drew. Sorry. Yeah, Excalibur's doing really well for it. and it's going to be using pure.js for the multiplayer. So basically, two people will be able to create that WebRTC connection, and you'll be able to see both players and all the enemies, and their states are going to be synced. That's the goal. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. So the game state needs to be as small as possible. Yeah, I like pure.js. If you remember Demon Siege from years and years ago, gosh, it's been like 4 years. I used it to do the voice, the video chat in the pure.js. I used pure.js for the video chat in Demon Siege. I don't think I ever released that, but I got SIP calls basically going. All right. So this changes the behavior. But I need to set the new component. So I love A. So I love Chance.js. It used to be my go-to. I used to incorporate the whole library into every project because it was just so easy. But Excalibur's is pretty good. It's native random library. So it's got a lot of the convenience functions that I used. Actually, it's just pick one and pick set, which I'm actually using right here. That was what I really leaned into Chance.js for, because it was just so easy to do that. But no, I love Chance.js. But Excalibur's seems to be good. So I need to remove a component. No. Yeah, so it clears out all the components. And it figured out what I want to do next. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to ignore this typing issue for a moment. It's a non-issue, but I got to clean that up. It doesn't know. Basically, these aren't types, it's just strings. I can do maybe... No, it's key of, type of, remove components. Oh, array. How about array of? Oh, that worked. Oh. And then does that take care of these? No, why not? The typing is a problem here. Come on, dude. Ah, okay, that solved it. second. It's unhappy with something. Oh. Oh. I think I need to figure this out. Let's say orbit. What's its constructor? Poo. Yeah, this is good. So the boss generator. I should have just. That's all. All right, let's test this out. So we gotta add this component to the boss. Call it monitor component. Let's do this. Boss components. Export class monitor component extends component. Essentially, it's going to look a lot like this. But I don't think I need a reset or a trigger. This is just for type narrowing. Yep. Heal. Shield. Spawn. Main. Orbit. Boss. Alright, so it needs a config. I was looking at V8's random implementation, so extremely simple. Interesting. I might have to Google that. I wrote my own random library for my old my old game engine that I wrote. It's called Squilito. And it turned out it wasn't very good. So there was more to it. I got frustrated. Basically, extortion. Interesting. I might have to Google that. I'd ask for a link, but you can't send me one. No. 0.5. And then set point 2. 0.25. That's it. I mean, this should do it. This should be ready to test. Bigger. Oh, I need to get my gamepad. Bonkers. All right, hold on. Kicks and giggles, might as well turn debug on. Alright, gamepad's connected. Start the room, see what happens. Alright. So that's a shield. Got me. So he did a heal there. It doesn't look like it's working. Let's clean up the console log. Spray burst. These are under components. Let's just comment them out for right now. What else did we have? Yeah, that's about the only one I need to worry about. Let's add let's make it stand out a little bit. That will tell me that the events are happening. else I left out? No. Except to other behaviors. Oh, that's right. Okay. I think it should be enough for oh, properties are oh, false. Yep, oh, false there. Maintain my Twitch stream here. Figure out how to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to comb through that context, Fern, when I get to it. I think I've seen that algorithm, but I didn't wrap my head around it. Let's see what's happening here. Heal and spawn. Okay, that should be easy to beat. Oh, missed. Does not look like it's triggering. It's not sending the events out. All right, that's what we need to debug. Ads? It spawns minions as a other behavior. That's good stuff. I bet you I never... I know I do this every time. I know why it wasn't monitoring. Here's the monitor component. Never had it. There. I bet you I don't need this console log. It's time we caused it. It's almost like I made this mistake before. I'm gonna have to clean out my gamepad code. It's a little sloppy. Health and shield. Let's do this, big guy. Shield works. Yeah, well, that explosion should tell us something. Yeah, I hadn't heard that term ads before. So, yeah, one of the other behaviors of the boss is he can bring minions into the fight. And so he has a spawning component. What on earth happened here? Why is owner undefined? I have no idea why. Maybe I do need this. I'm assuming it'll happen again. It's an orbiting. Boss 171. Okay, so the monitoring's working. Let's take that out. I think I know what's wrong. These aren't designed to be removed. Oh, there it is. I am removing the handler. Okay, that's weird. So it's getting to this console log, but it's not. Oh, I bet you. Warnings disabled. Let's try this again. God, I'm so stupid. Teleporting. He's got spawn and shield. Spray attack. I am toast. Alright, so it is changing behavior. So I'm getting the trigger. Heal and spawn. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading shield child. So I'm losing the owner. How am I doing that? Has something to do with the removal of the components. I know what it is. This isn't being bound, right? I bet it is, though. I ain't binding this. I bet this is undefined for some reason. Oh, no. This is... Teleport, burst, shield, and spawn. Shield and heal. So it turns into teleport, burst. Alright, so how is boss undefined? This is there. They're in the components. On this last one, I'm losing this somewhere. It was doing it in Shield. How am I losing it? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't even know what to do. Bonkers. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, so it is undefined. Why? Because the component's not getting removed. Because that's a heal. I'm not healing anymore. But I'm removing the components. This doesn't make any sense. Is this an edge case? Am I running into... Alright. I think I'm running out of my time for my stream this morning. Might have to post this on the Discord. So what I just learned is, let me shrink this. What that console basically tells me, Drew, is what I'm doing here is I'm removing all my components from the boss before changing them and re-adding them. But there's a component that's still running. And so when I remove it, I think the reference to the owner, the boss, gets lost. And I saw that. Boop, boop, boop. Don't do that. And I see that right here. So I'm adding back in. I can't even read it from that screen, but I'm adding. So I'm removing all the components, the behavioral components. Now I'm adding in a random move, a spray burst attack, spawning, and shield. Okay, so those are the components getting re-added back to the boss after the old ones are removed. But heal's running. Heal is not in that list. Heal is in the original list. So I'm removing component, but the component's still running. So I might be in a life cycle edge case here. So it's like, so one thing I can do, which is kind of, is absolute jank. But before I could add new components, I could just give it a quick experiment. It's not a bad thing if it's an experiment. Let me see if I say, hey, wait a frame before you add all the components back in. I might be doing something that not very many people have done with the whole swapping out components on another way around this, which is a lot jankier, is add all the components and then just enable and disable them, so when they're in their updates, if they're not enabled, it just fails. But I don't want to do that. Try this. I see that. So it's running a component that I thought I had removed. Oh man, this guy's smoking me today. It's realistic if you can lose to a boss fight, I guess. Yeah, still did it. Is there a component ID? I could put a UUID on it just to see if it's the same thing. Or, that's cheap though. Alright, I'm going to have to sit and think about this, but I think I'm going to wrap up my stream today. So, some progress, technically, but we'll have to work through this. I gotta get the girls up. We got our own Christmas Advent to do. So, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I think I got some ideas, but some of them are hacks. Like, basically, if you're in a component and the owner is undefined, then bail out of the update, because what are you gonna do? But that doesn't solve the problem. That just ignores the problem. I'm worried that I'm just piling on extra components. So, all right. I appreciate everyone being here today. And I got an extra follow today. Yep. I'm going to stream as much as I can. Basically, my philosophy is if I'm sitting here coding, I might as well stream it. There's no reason not to. So, Drew, I appreciate everything you've done. So, thank you. And everyone else who's here, I appreciate you, and I hope to see you guys next time. So, ciao.